covered a few of these already. What were the challenges? Question 4, faced with delivering it. Okay, so first of all, tracking attendance. Whose responsibility was it, and how did you keep an overview?
Right.
John first, then Laura.
Yeah, one of my service leads said, "Oh, John, can you make a register for me of who's attended the training?" And I said, "Well, no."
Good, well done. Yeah.
Basically, I mean, interestingly, Microsoft have said that you can now do a roll call, and it will automatically tell you. You can download a CSV file of who's attended, what time they joined, and what time they left. However, what I've discovered, that only works if people in your team are members of your organization.
Exactly.
If they've been added as guests, which is the only way we can add them, because they're external to Achievement for All, you can't do that.
No, and that's exactly the problem I've had with ICAM and BECSR, the international projects. We've invited people to it, and for example, they can't see a video of your recording.
Yes, the way Laura and I have got around that is we've recorded the sessions. You know, it then uploads itself to Stream. It does the dialogue for you. What we've then done is download that and then upload it into files. Into the people.
No, I know it's a time-consuming process, but that's exactly what I've done. Yeah. Okay.
So you can't take a roll call. So I've actually asked my youth offending service leads to do it themselves.
Absolutely. No. Fine. Laura, same for you?
Yeah, but I was a complete snowflake and went, yeah, I'll do it.
Oh, right. Okay.
So that's the first mistake. Don't say yes to that, because I was trying to deliver my training. Then there's me scribbling down everyone's names as they join in and what time they came, and then someone left, they were ill. So don't.
Oh, Laura, no, we can't have that. Yeah.
No. Okay. The only way I found of doing it effectively was afterwards. Once I watched the video, it does give the names. Then you get a narrative, you get a script actually on Teams, which is really good. Getting a script afterwards of what everyone said, because then you can pull out quotes and things for materials and case studies.
Yeah.
So I just went through that and I made a note of the names. But I've kind of said since then that just doesn't work for me. It's not fair if I'm training and trying to take a register at the same time.
No.
I mean, you can see a list of all the people you've invited, but that's not a guarantee they've all been on the call.
No.
So, I've asked the service leads or a volunteer within the group to do that and then provide that information back to the off service leads. And they've been happy to do that.
Yeah. Evaluation. That's what I wanted to look at very quickly. Evaluation. Now, Laurie, we have evaluation tools, haven't we, within emotion coaching? But have you broke it down to individual sessions? How do you get a bit of feedback as to how it's gone?
Yeah, so we did the overall, obviously the locality review, and then we've done personal reviews as well that everyone's completed at the beginning. But then in terms of feedback from each session, I keep it fairly informal in terms of we do a bit of a round robin in terms of one thing I've learned or one question I've got or one thing I'm going to try. And then we start every session with what have you done since?
Usual standard practice.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, we did do a poll right at the beginning. We just looked at the main objectives for emotion coaching, and we did a poll in terms of what people felt they needed the most.
Yeah.
And that helped me direct the training. And we might repeat that in terms of what have you moved on from afterwards. But to be honest, the qualitative feedback you get in each session is a lot more valuable, and it's more, your assessment for learning rather than, your formal assessment.
And going back to a point both of you made right at the start, and we need to keep revisiting as a leadership team, what you're doing simultaneously is delivering emotion coaching training is actually trying to instill a coaching model into the services that you're working with, so didn't have before.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's something that's a whole new conversation which we won't go down yet.
So
what I discovered, Marius, is that obviously you can work on documents collaboratively, which is absolutely fantastic. And so what I was going to do initially was to put the locality review up in files. But then I thought, you know what, everyone's going to have access to that, and that's maybe not what service leads want. So I quickly created 3 additional rooms just for the service leads to have access to, where that document sits, because they might not necessarily want everyone in their team, in their organization, to have access to that document. But the poll is quite useful. I was very sort of ambivalent is not the right word. I put it out there as to gauge some feedback in the direction of travel for the training. I think I'd use that in a much more directed way going forward, saying there is a poll there and you must complete this by such and such a date, so that I can begin to get not only the fantastic qualitative feedback that Laura's talking about, but also some quantitative feedback as well. So I'd use that in a little bit more of a directed way now that I've got that relationship going with the teams. And I'm certainly going to be using that with the forums. So creating a poll in Microsoft Teams, pretty straightforward, pretty easy.
Yeah. I think you've got a limit of 5 questions, haven't you? That was the only challenge we found. And then you've got to start a new one.